Welcome to the Insurance Agents and Brokers Podcast.
Hello and welcome to the audio version of Coverage Corner. Coverage Corner is a monthly column in IA&B's primary agent magazine. The September 2026 column is entitled Workers' Compensation: 7 Tips for Agents by Cathy Trischan. Workers' compensation, or WC, is a coverage required by most businesses, and writing WC seems straightforward until a business has an uncovered claim or an unexpected additional premium at time of audit. Here are 7 tips an insurance agent can use to ensure coverage is written correctly. 1. Make sure the proper entities are included as insureds. It is not uncommon for business owners to form numerous entities for different parts of their operation. Make sure that any entity with an exposure is properly listed on the WC policy as an insured. 2. Make sure that all states where operations are or might be performed are listed. It is important that all states where an insured has operations or locations be listed on the policy information page in 3A. Doing so incorporates the WC law of the state into the policy so that benefits the employer is legally required to provide are available. 3C. On the policy's information page is other states' insurance and is used for new or incidental exposures. While not always possible, one should try to include in 3C all states except those listed in 3A and the monopolistic states. The monopolistic states of North Dakota, Ohio, Washington, and Wyoming do not allow private insurers to provide WC coverage. Businesses with operations in a monopolistic state need to obtain the required coverage directly from the monopolistic state fund. If an insured begins operations in a state listed in 3C, during the policy term, it has coverage for those states' benefits for the rest of the policy term. When the policy is renewed, though, it is important that any states where there are operations be moved to 3A if the insured has operations in a 3C state as of policy inception. The insured has only 30 days to notify the insurer and move that state to 3A. 3. Is there coverage for injuries sustained by the owners of the company? State laws vary with respect to whether bodily injury sustained by owners of the business can or must be covered. Some business owners, when they can, elect not to be covered under the WC policy to save premium. If an owner is excluded from coverage, payroll for the owner is not charged for. Be sure to discuss the available options with business owners so any necessary endorsements to reflect their intent are included. 4. Make sure the proper classifications are used. It is important to make sure that the proper classifications are used when placing WC coverage. Failure to properly classify workers can result in unexpected audit results. If in doubt, check with the insurance company's audit department or with the state's WC bureau. It is important, too, that clients be educated as to how payroll records should be kept. For some contracting classifications, for example, payroll can be divided between classifications, but only if detailed records documenting an employee's duties are kept. 5. Review and explain the experience modification factor. Most policies include an experience modification rating or factor, or EMR, which is based on previous year's payroll and claims. When businesses understand the effect that claims have on future premiums, they are often more willing to implement workplace safety programs and return to work programs. Agents can help by reviewing the information used to calculate the EMR. Mistakes happen, and if incorrect payroll or claims information is reported by an insurer, the EMR may be incorrect. 6. Educate the client about the importance of hiring only properly insured subcontractors. When a business hires subcontractors who do not carry WC insurance, 2 problems result. First, the business may be responsible for providing WC benefits to injured employees of an uninsured subcontractor. This can affect the loss history and the EMR. Second, insurers typically consider amounts paid to uninsured subcontractors as payroll because they may be required to pay benefits to employees of an uninsured subcontractor. 7. Make sure federal exposures are properly addressed. In addition to exposures under state WC statutes, many businesses have exposures under federal laws. Contractors building piers or docks on navigable waters, for example, may be subject to Longshore and Harbor Workers' Compensation Act. Those working on dredging barges or floating work platforms may be subject to the Jones Act. Endorsements are needed to add coverage for these exposures, and if endorsements cannot be added, standalone coverage can be written. Writing WC correctly is important for both insured businesses and the insurance agent. Following these 7 tips and educating the client along the way can help to eliminate claim and premium problems. Till next time. Written by Cathy Trischan, CPCU, CRM, CACRM, AU, AAI, CRIS. Emily S. TRIP is IA&B's Commercial Lines Education Consultant. She works with our CAC and CISR programs, as well as our live CE webinars. Catch her at one of our upcoming courses at iabforme.com/education. Thank you for listening.
Insurance Agents and Brokers is the premier resource and champion for independent insurance agencies in Pennsylvania, Maryland, and Delaware. For more information, visit iabforme.com.